Hello, this is Dr. Jason Munsell. It is about almost 3 o'clock on Tuesday, June 27th. I'm going to cover the last chapter that I was going to cover since we started with 10, but it's amazing how much we've gone through in 4 weeks. I've seen that several of you have already put your YouTube videos, your speeches up, and I haven't watched any yet, but I will. If not, later on this afternoon and this evening, then tomorrow. But very cool. I'm very excited about that. And then also remember, your letter to the editor is due soon. And this weekend, what did I say? Friday or Saturday? I don't remember. Look at the syllabus. And of course, also I'll need your last thread, and I'll put something new up tomorrow, and the final tweets and everything like that by, I think I said Saturday, so I can get everything graded, because my grades need to be in. But just if you have any questions about anything, some of you email me every once in a while, but sometimes I don't hear from you until I see some assignments and stuff like that, but anything that I can do to help. But let me very quickly try to go through this chapter, and I think it's actually a really good chapter. Some really good points that I think the author makes. The author's name is Dara Lovitz, or Dara Lovitz. I don't know. I like the little quote. The problem with lawyer jokes is that lawyers don't think they're funny, and no one else thinks they're jokes. That's pretty good. But in any case, okay. So, and then if you actually are following along the syllabus, and sometimes I title the days in sort of silly ways, and so one of my old favorite songs from back in the day was Jackson Browne's "Lawyers in Love," and I've actually put the video up for you if you want to watch it. You don't have to, but I think it's funny. I think it's a good song. I think the video is funny. So there you go. All right. So one of the things that I think is important to understand, or just so delicious iced tea, unsweetened. I hate sweet tea. I didn't grow up with sweet tea. We don't have sweet tea in Oklahoma, and whenever I taste sweet tea, it just tastes nasty to me. I'm sorry. But a lot of not a lot, but many, if that's different, of our comm studies graduates, or all the various manifestations of our degrees, leadership, professional communication, health, comm, whatever. Oftentimes, folks go to law school and then go on to do wonderful things as lawyers. So I've got a couple of 4 instances here for you. Lindsay Wilkes graduated back in the day. I can't remember what year she graduated, and this is not going to even work. But she's an immigration attorney in D.C. Oh, here it goes. I know her very, very well, or she had to take my classes when she was at Columbia College. But she focuses her practice on humanitarian, family, and employment-based immigration matters before the U.S. Immigration Courts, the Board of Immigration Appeals, U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Services, and U.S. Consulates Abroad. And you can sort of read through some of the things that she has done. And then she has, at the very end, Wilk graduated magna cum laude from Columbia College with a Bachelor of Arts in both Business Administration and Communication. But, so she has her own law firm, which is very, very cool. And then a little bit younger than Lindsay, I can't remember when she graduated, 2005, 2007. Donna Tillis is another example. She is with Nelson Mullins, and she's an associate attorney. This is some of the stuff that she does. And you can see back here, Columbia College, Bachelor of Arts in Communication. She was in the honors program. She's awesome. But in any case, so, it's an option for you, right? once you finish your undergraduate degree, maybe go to law school, because lawyers can make a different difference in a different kind of person, I suppose. And this is my stupid lawyer joke that I just made up while I was putting this PowerPoint together. This is a pro bono. It's a joke. Bono is the lead singer for U2. And it's not even pro bono, it's pro bono, which means for the public good. Because a lot of lawyers do stuff for the public good. Look at those funky glasses. He's always wearing glasses. Such a rock star. Look at him. Look, I'm a rock star. Yeah. Okay. We need lawyers. Damn. Do we need lawyers? We need lawyers, yes. Yeah, we need lawyers. Because we live in a legalistic, confused society where blah, 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 blah. But it's very hard, unless you go to law school, and even then, to understand everything that's going on when it comes to the law. I do like this little quote on page 174. Little quotes they have at the side. Activists often target laws for social change, which laws are unjust and must be changed. Conversely, which laws need to be enacted in order to create a more just world. I don't know. So we need lawyers to help us understand how to create new laws, how to change laws, how to all this different types of stuff. So, so lawyers do good stuff. They're not all ambulance chasers, though some do. Literally, I think, chase ambulances. But in any case, okay, so yes, we need lawyers. And one of the things that I really like about this chapter is that it's sort of a history lesson, right? It goes through all these important touchstone, watershed moments in legal history to make our world a more just society, or make our United States at least. Of course, these are just a few examples. There's obviously more examples, but okay. But first, before we, and you all can read, but I'm going to say a bit about each sort of kind of. But a lot of this goes back. A lot of the changes that have been made go back to the 14th Amendment. And to know that, you need to know the 14th Amendment to understand a lot of particularly when it comes to issues of civil rights. And so what I have for you, not like you couldn't do it yourself, but I found this site that I thought was pretty good. It's from Thought Company, or thoughtco.com, and sort of a summary. Who did this? By Martin Kelly, just recently updated. About, I should pin it on Pinterest, what the 14th Amendment was really all about. Pretty interesting little lesson here. It was considered one of the Reconstruction amendments. Good things that happened after the Civil War. Basically, to reinforce civil rights. Made all persons born in the United States citizens, which was not the case, obviously. It's pretty interesting that Andrew Johnson vetoed it. Nice job, Andy. It's not Andrew Jackson, it's Johnson, who was president after Lincoln was assassinated. And he was not a very good president. But in any case, okay, and so then, of course, if it's a constitutional amendment that passes through Congress, it has to be ratified by the states. A lot of folks ratified it pretty quickly. What was it? Connecticut was the first. In the South, both Louisiana and the Carolinas, go figure, refused initially to ratify the amendment, but it was ratified in 1868. There's lots of sections to it, and what this little website does is sort of give you a sense of what each section did. So first, everybody born in the United States is a citizen, a full citizen. not part, or not property, not Section 2, in the idea of representation to Congress, all their population has to be counted, not just the white folks. And of course, stipulated that all males 21 years or older were guaranteed the right to vote. The 19th Amendment, which gave women the right to vote, didn't happen until the 20th century. Yay, go team. Addressed some federal debt stuff, and there are lots of stuff in here. Here's some of the key clauses. Well, it's citizenship clause, but a lot of the stuff that is referred to in some of these examples is the due process clause as well as the equal protection clause. So the due process law says that no state shall deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. So basically, it's become privacy issues, right to privacy issues. Roe versus Wade is linked to this, and same-sex marriage often, as well, is linked to this. So that is basically the idea that everybody deserves the same sort of due process. Everybody can do the same thing. You can't say those folks, because they're that, can't do that. So basically, due process. And then equal protection prevents states from denying to any person without this jurisdiction the equal protection of the law. So everybody has the same protection of the laws. So that goes back to separate but equal, even Bush versus Gore. So lots of stuff in here, and you can even watch 10 Uncommon Facts about the U.S. Constitution. I don't think that's a real picture. But in any case, so the Constitution is fun. You should read it, even though a lot of people who carry it don't know it or die. I'm so cynical. Okay, so that's an important amendment. So it talks about board versus Brown versus the Board of Education. I've got another little website or link that talks about Brown at 60 a few years ago, the history. But basically, obviously, you all know this. It made segregation unconstitutional, and the separate but equal wasn't. And so very important change in the Constitution, or not change in the Constitution, but change a legal case that obviously changed a great deal in the United States. Keishian versus the Board of Regents, basically saying that teachers couldn't say that they weren't sort of, what's communist? Communist, it's a political perspective, I guess. It's like saying you can't, sign something that says you're not Muslim, and so you can teach. It's crap. But in any case, here's a picture of him back in the day and more recently. And a lot of folks, particularly even people who hold office, don't understand what academic